One day, the husband kissed the family goodbye and rode off on the back of a mule to once again provide for his family. But this would be the last time the family would see him. One that I didn't mention last time because I got the letters wrong, the abbreviation. So this is Arizona, AZ.
Right.
Slaughterhouse Canyon. So you asked for Arizona.
Oh,
I said it was Dog Boy.
I had a feeling that you'd mention a canyon because this is where the Grand Canyon is. I think it spans over a couple of states, but it's mainly in Arizona, I think.
I quite like this story.
Okay.
So
well,
hopefully
we'll be the
as
judge.
well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Slaughterhouse Canyon. The gold rush during the 1800s brought as much sickness, tragedy, and death to fortune seekers as it did riches. Smashed it.
Right.
Many gold seekers fell victim to disease, accidental death, and extreme disappointments in return for their sacrifice. This ghost story turns from disappointment to darkness and has managed to put Luana's Canyon, more commonly known as Slaughterhouse Canyon, on the map of paranormal travels. It was during the 1800s that a family lived in the canyon in a small wooden shack. The husband was a dreamer and wanted nothing more than to provide a better life for his wife, Luana, and their children.
Just a dreamer.
Like, that's his job.
I was
You're a
get-
dreamer, boy.
I keep thinking, where is the canyon called? What's it called?
Luana's Canyon.
Luana, Lua. Doesn't really work. But I had that in my head the whole time. I was like,
Lua's Canyon.
yeah.
He would venture off into the mountains in search of gold and food for his family. The only food that the small family had to eat
Little caramels.
was
It's a crossover.
No spoons, though. What?
This is like the Infinity War of urban legends.
like the only food they'd have is would be whatever he'd bring home from his gold hunting expeditions. The man would leave and would not return for 2 weeks at a time, but he'd always return and his family always ate. But all good things came to an end. One day, the husband kissed the family goodbye and rode off on the back of a mule to once again provide for his family. But this would be the last time the family would see him. The man had become another victim of the gold rush tragedy. His wife waited for her husband for many days, and after his expected return, and soon realised that there was something terribly wrong. The food started to dwindle until there was none left, and Luana and her children soon began to starve. Without food and without her husband, Luana began to slip into madness. Her children became pale and weak. They were constantly begging for food, but the mother had none to give. Each day that passed pushed the mother closer toward the brink of insanity until she eventually snapped.
Why can't the mum go
Yeah,
out and get some
get
food?
the fuck out of here and go find some stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't want to leave her children.
Lazy.
Bring him with him.
Yeah, day out of the canyon.
Unable to cope with the reality of watching her children starve to death, she murdered them and cut them up into small pieces.
that's what you do.
Yeah, that's mad.
She
That
has
is
gone,
mad.
It did say she's gone insane.
Yeah, what? Just because she's hungry for a bit? David Blaine did that for like 40
He didn't
days.
kill anyone. Allegedly.
Don't rule it out.
So it's also said that she took the time to put on her white wedding gown before committing the horrific act. When the mother had finished this horrible deed, her white wedding gown and the walls of the tiny wooden shack were painted with the blood of her children. The woman then carried what was left of her children.
The dad comes back in and goes, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You at least asked me if you're going to paint it. So where are the kids?
I missed 4 trains and this happened.
I ran out of mule. I was thinking of that joke the whole time.
That's good, that, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry, she painted it.
Why is she... That's mad. Like, she's already a nutter, and she thought, how can I make this look more nutty? I'll put a dress on.
Don't wear white if you're going to be cunting.
Yeah, that's the worst. That is
Put
the
your
worst.
funeral gown on, that's not a thing.
What? Imagine the amount of Coca-Cola you need to get blood out of that.
Ooh.
That's what they use in America to get blood off the pavements. Coke.
Nah.
Coke.
Power washer.
And that, yeah.
The woman carried what was left of her children down to the edge of a river and tossed them in. She collapsed in a blood-soaked heap and began to wail loudly for her children.
Oh, too late now.
She was overcome with sadness and guilt. She remained
Wilson.
She remained on the riverbank and continued to scream and wail until the next morning, when she would succumb to starvation herself. She died crying for the children that she had murdered. Many claim that the wails can still be heard within the canyon. On a quiet night, it is said that anyone brave enough to venture into the canyon can hear the wails and sobs of the heartbroken and psychotic mother.
I know exactly what you mean, but like Tom's alluding to there, I think, I'm just imagining some big old whales in the canyon.
God.
But blackfish.
I think she's more crying.
Sorry, but I have very little sympathy for this
Would
bitch.
you? Yeah, and you'd eat the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was reading through,
You thought they'd go that
I
way.
thought as soon as she chopped it up, I was like, oh, she's gonna eat them. Nah, she just threw them in a river.
Yeah.
That she really didn't try hard enough. the survival instinct didn't kick in. She didn't go look for berries, forage. Have a little forage before
Yeah.
you kill the kids.
Yeah.
Always.
What, berries before murder?
Yeah.
This
Even
was
try the red one.
This was back in a time where women would stay in the house, so maybe she was a bit more worried of not knowing what to do.
I know what you mean.
She didn't have the correct training to be able to go and do what the
I thought you
man
said
did.
correct trainers. She only had heels.
No, but you know what I mean. Like the
No, I get what you mean.
No. What? So
the expertise were not taught to women back then because
Okay.
men didn't value them as highly.
But right, so the unwritten rules back then were women stay in the house. They speak unless spoken. They don't speak unless spoken to. They're seen and not heard, kind of thing.
yeah,
And she's willing to stick to them morals.
Yeah.
But
If anything,
but
good on her.
but sooner than she'd rather sooner kill her children than just go. Well, I know I'm not allowed out,
but well, no, it's one of those where she didn't know any other way. So it wasn't until she went crazy that she did that to her children. She didn't go, well, I'm either going to go and forage or kill my children.
but then
A good captain goes down with the ship, and she was a good captain. She's like, well, he's left, and we're just going to sink all together, kids.
it sounds like you two are defending her.
I'm not. She's a no.
Awful woman.
That's
But-
there is. I get your point about. I know you didn't tell her to do this, but you still think that she'd be like, "Oh, I'm really hungry. Darren hasn't been back for a long time. I should maybe just go outside, have a little tutor around and a little look,
Yeah.
rather than go, oh, but Dylan's been a real pain in the ass today.
I love these names for the
Darren and
1800s.
All the
Dylan.
D's.
I think she's a monster.
I want to be slightly nice to her, purely because if we do go visit this place, at least she'll take you first and maybe let me
Ooh.
off.
What are we? Oh yeah, I forget we might actually go and visit these
Yeah,
places.
so you slag them off because she'll obviously be listening to this.
It will just be a series of like going to canyons and that.
You're going to be in a camp, and you're going to go to bed, and you're going to hear. Shamu's next to you.
See a little fin come out there of the sound.
A little gill.
I mean, if that's not a good video, I don't know what is.
Can we rename this urban legend the Whales of the Canyon? The Canyon
Yeah,
Whale.
that's way better than Slaughterhouse Canyon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it'll get
sort
monetized. So.
So, what do you think of the story, other than hating her?
I think that so she was mental, yeah. But then after she killed them, she started crying and then showing remorse, which would imply that maybe she wasn't mental.
And then she starved to death.
Nutter.
Yeah, that's not what I'm asking, though, is it? We agree she's a nutter. Do you think it's a scary story?
It doesn't scare me because she's not doing anything now to, like the other one says, like, oh, she can come.
Yeah,
get
it
you, but
just
she's
hears that you
crying
you can
somewhere.
hear the cries.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything from what I could see
Just put-
about
just
like
put
the
the
"Have you
radio on.
seen my baby" situation where she appears. It just says that in that canyon you can hear.
Do you know, when I went to the Grand Canyon, I heard a story that, and this is fucking horrible, I hope this isn't true, but I heard a story that a guy proposed to his partner on the edge of the Grand Canyon and slipped while he was doing it. Bang, in the bottom of the canyon. But luckily, he landed on a whale.
What did she say? She just went, no.
I hope this isn't a true story.
No, I think it's like an urban legend.
It probably has happened. Everything has happened at least once.
Whales
I don't know
in the canyon?
if whales.
Little whale.
Well, actually, back in the day, it might have been water.
What? No, there'd have been a lake then.
Well, she threw the
If there's water in a
kids-
canyon, it's a lake.
kids in the. Didn't she throw it into a
Into a river.
river?
Why is there rivers near canyons? Canyons very
Why are there
hot.
whales in the river? But you didn't seem to argue with that.
No, it's a dry whale.
There's been there's been a whale down the Thames, isn't there?
Has there?
That's happened before.
There's been a whale up there.
What am I doing in here with a whale?
All right, scary. 2.
Yeah, that's not as scary as the first one. I'm going to go with a 3.
Okay.
She's not going to affect me.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Origin behind that. The whaling of Luana's Canyon is more than just an urban legend to quite a few people who have been there, because a lot of people have said that they've heard creepy calls from the murderous mother.
Would have just been wind. Seriously.
But after a bit of research into this, I couldn't find anything to say that it actually happened. I read, I went through someone's like blog who went and visited the area and said they couldn't even find the house. So I don't know whether the house was there or it's gone now.
Right.
That's the kind of research I go into. Some shit person's random blog.
Do you think any of
Shit
that
person.
It was a lovely blog.
Poor bastard.
lovely blog for a shit? cunt.
Lovely blog.
The person, shit.